This man finally needs to be brought to justice, not only for the things he's currently doing, but mainly for the very dark things he's done in the past. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, how you can help do that. Let me make that screen a little bigger just so you know exactly the account we're talking about. If you were one of the hundreds of people that were in Anywhere Man's live last night when we had the discussion on the topic of this, you know exactly how dark and how bothersome this really is. I've been away from doing content for a little bit, but there was no way that I was turning down the invite to go in that live and speak yesterday, because this is one of the cases that I've worked on that actually bothered me in the past. If you're not familiar, that's my main account, thinnin_out_nonsense. Go over to that account. That's where the videos are. This is where, over 3 years ago, I started laying out everything about this guy and what he's been doing. August 2022 is where it all started. You can start with video number 1, or go to this one. This one. About a month later, we started finding out the much darker things. This one. Going into October. This one. And once you come to the 8th one, this is probably one of the most important ones. This is the one that you can find. It has about 500,000 views on it. This is kind of where I lay it all out into a nutshell, and also have a lot of the receipts dropped in the video. So 3 years ago, it started out. They were scamming. They were taking money from people, lying, deceiving. Then I caught on to, why is he lying about his age by 4 years? Easily proved. It's in the videos. He still lies to this day. And then it turned into, well, why is she lying about her age by a year? Okay, well, come to find out it's because they got together when she was 16. So you can't do anything about that now. There's no crime at this moment because she's of age. But they still currently lie about the age because it'll mess up their whole story that they've told for many years and prove that she was underage. Everything I said 3 years ago, still to this day, is confirmed to be accurate. I've spoken to her father. I've spoken to friends of hers that she went to school with. So many people have contacted me. I've spoken to his son, the one that dated Paige. I spoke to Nate's ex-wife. There's a lot of lies he tried telling about that. If you go through that one video especially, I put information, text from her that were given to me, and I was given permission to post. There is so much evidence just in my videos alone to prove that their whole storyline is false. For anybody to sit over there and still believe this, you are part of their scamming. And not only that, you knew that man took that girl at the age of 15. And her own sister and mother came into the live discussion last night and actually confirmed it's true. If you look at their most recent video that they just put out, any psychologist or anybody with a little bit of understanding in body language can easily see the girl could barely look into the camera. She could barely describe everything without Nate in the background coaching it and bringing up points, just like he does anytime they're live. The sister in the live discussion last night was very honest and open and told us exactly how everything went with the mother and told us about the lies and what Nate does. It's everything that we knew, just more confirmation. He may not be able to be held accountable for things he did in this situation with this girl, but there's a much darker past to him. There was a 14-year-old, and there was things he did, and he had children. And we know the birth dates of the children. We know the ages, and it's 100% proven. In the state of Maine, there is a name for that, statutory we all know. Besides all the scamming, the theft by deception he's already been charged with, the scamming that they do to this day, that is the darkest thing that I think somebody can do. It is something that any person should stand trial for, in my opinion. There is no statute of limitations for that act that he committed. There is none in the state of Maine. When it was brought up to the Maine State Police a couple years ago, I was actively involved in giving them some information. Something was being done, and then somebody retired, then somebody else was going to do something. Then just not too long ago, somebody was going to do something again. It seems like the ball was always dropped. I don't know, I think some news stations need to be called. Some people need to look at the birth certificate in that larger video that I just pointed out earlier. You know, his name's quite easy to see. That's his married name, but his last name's Poulin, Poulin. He's given it out many times himself in the past, so I'm not giving out information that isn't readily there. He used to use his own Cash App with that name. So you can figure out the name you need to use and actually call. And I would, if I was everybody, I would start asking the Maine State Police, why has nothing been done about a 14-year-old that, you know, can't say it, but you know. He had children with that said girl. There's proof. It's undeniable the age that she was. If anyone doubts a word of any of this and hasn't heard her own family speak or seen all the evidence themselves, go to my videos. Here's me speaking with his ex-wife. With permission, putting up the birth certificate of their child because she wanted to prove he lies about his age, which he still does. How can you still do that at this point? Conversations with her father. Conversations with his own son. The one that dated Paige himself before his father did. No matter what, this girl is a victim of what this man has done. And I wouldn't bully her. I wouldn't put any pressure on her. She's complicit in what she's doing now, and she's actively helping scam. But she is another victim of his, just like the 14-year-old we spoke of, just like the apartment scam he ran, and he was charged with theft by deception. Just like many other things in his life, there have been so many victims. I just keep thinking, what if I had children? What if it was my daughter? How do you guys feel? You know, you guys that do have them? It bothers me. I think going in last night and speaking about it, and I hadn't in about 2 years, put a little fire under me. And even those 8 videos I did where I went through all that investigating, there's even 2 later after that where I kind of did some updates. There might be some information in those too. We also have to remember there's people that are actively helping them scam and are actively supporting what he did to this girl. Moderators like this that sit over there and help them, or like this person also, they've been there for a year or 2 at least. They know, and I know actually they know their true ages. I have confirmation of that. They actively participate in helping them scam, lie, and cheat people. When you know the truth and you don't do anything about it, that's exactly what you're doing. This needed to be brought up again. It's been too long. I'm glad I was there last night, and I hope people watching this make the calls, help. Tag anybody you see in their lives. Tag anybody in their videos. Tag them in this video. I give everybody permission, just tag people in this video. Let them see the truth. Please go follow this person, look at their content. NP Jewelry, Expose account. Look them up, find them. I've been out for a while. They are exposing all their current scams and what they are currently doing.